Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest on of War Soulstorm cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 vs 1 on Tranquility's End. Playing on the other side as the Dark Eldar, we've got Sikorsky. And playing on the other side as the Necrons, we've got Blessed and Possessed. Blessed is going to go for a handful of build scabs, and are you going to go for anything else? No, you're just going to go on a mission. That's pretty exciting. And what are you going to go for, Dark Eldar man? You're going to go for a couple of mandrakes, a Dark Foundry, and a Plasma Generator. So standard opening for the Dark Eldar. The Necrons are up to some shenanigans, which I assume is going to take the form of some Ghost turrets being placed down here. Although you could put... there we go. Going to build up some Plasma Generators with your secondary... what do you call them? Builder Scabs. That's confused my brain. Anything outside the normal routine, and my brain is now gone to mush. That's okay. So Dark Eldar up against Necrons. Very difficult matchup for the Necrons. Now, normally, you've got your Necron Lord jumping around doing all sorts of your nonsense. You don't normally see a Necron Lord being all that useful in a Dark Eldar matchup because the Archon is able to come out and he's able to stun him and do like loads of other stuff which prevents him from getting out of there in the nick of time, which is basically how the Necron Lord does his main kind of survivability. But we'll see how it goes. You know, sometimes things go the way that the meta normally goes, sometimes it does not. And the Mandrakes are going to be scaring away these Builder Scabs, so it looks like that Blessed and Possessed is being as aggressive as possible just to keep the Dark Eldar away from his side of the map so he can build up his own economy. Speaking of economy, you know what? Action economy. You've got a limited amount of actions to do every kind of day. But on my inside, oh my goodness, it's player support. If you want to save time in your life so you can do more important things and leave the professionals do all the painting and the printing and such, go check them out. Link description below, and thank you for supporting the channel as always. But yeah, so Mandrake's going on the left side, Mandrake's going on the right. Build Scab's not known for their ability to really fight off anything is going on. But decap on that point at the very least. Got the Hellions as well. So they'll be able to come over very quickly and start doing some damage. Although once you get a couple of Necron Warrior squads out and about, I don't know if those Hellions are going to be of much use. Also, special for Ghost Turret being placed inside the base. Might be an idea just to try and focus on killing this one, just so you can secure more of your own economy. But no, that's not what Sikorsky is planning to do. He's sending the Hellions forward. Doing the old Dark Eldar shuffle on the skyboards. And to be fair, that every time you kill a Builder Scarab unit, there is going to be some production time lost to the Necrons as the game goes on, because they will need to replace them at some point. But the Hellions run away. And the strategic point on the right-hand side for the Necron base is going to go down. Also, the left-hand side has been done in. And the Necrons definitely do need these strategic points for the obelisks as the game goes on. Otherwise, they'll be squad capped quite early on in the game. There's a Reaver jet bike. Quite handily taking on the Builder Scarabs. Yeah, it just seems like an absolute massacre for Builder Scarabs across the map at the moment. But no, alright, okay, yeah, just capture the relic inside the base, why not? I mean, the Dark Eldar, they have no idea that that's going on. They're being too aggressive, they have no idea. So, yeah, just build an obelisk inside their base, why not? You might think to yourself, well, why are the Dark Eldar not bothering to capture their own relic? It's because it takes 1,000,000 years. And if they're going to counter the Necron aggression by being aggressive themselves, then that's what you do. Reaver jet bike, one of them, quite low on health at the moment, will have to repair itself. Although, will you see that? No, you don't quite see the Builder Scabs up to their nefarious deeds. What a pain. If they could build an obelisk on there, that's going to be just a real nuisance. How often do you see that? You don't really see it ever, to be honest. Go to build up a plasma generator inside the base. And just on a side note, I mean, we've got tier 2 on the way for the Dark Eldar. We've got not tier 2 on the way for Necrons at the moment. You might be wondering that there's a lot more Soulstorm games going on the channel at the moment, as opposed to the usual heavy lean towards unification. That's because at the moment, there's not that many unifications on the go, and I've just been not very active. I mean, I'm not normally active on the Discord anyway, but I've been very not active online at the moment for quite some time. Long story short, there's a potential promotion going on at work at the moment, and I'm just basically busting my balls to try and get that. If that's the case, that means I'll be able to, have significantly large amounts of money. So then I'll be able to then do less content, but then do better content by hosting things on the Discord and getting more thematic games on the go. That's my theory, that's my thinking, so whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. But Soulstorm games are just easier to get done because obviously the quality of play is normally a lot higher. No offense to Unification players, obviously. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So, disruption fields on the Necron warriors. They're now making a slow way down over here. The fact that the Dark Eldar takes so long to take on that Ghost turret has now actually given the Necrons a really serious foothold in the Dark Eldar, or the Drukhari even, base. Given a corruption research for the Mandrakes just to increase their overall combat potential. Reaver targeting module, so the jetbikes will do a significant amount of damage. So don't know how these Necron warriors will fare against them. Opening fire upon the Necrons here. And they've got enough close combat stuff to occupy the Necron warriors. That demonic corruption helping the Mandrakes get that damage in. Also poison blades. I know that makes no sense because there's no, you know, poison shouldn't really work on Necron warriors, but got to balance the game somehow. Let's go. What are you doing over here? Probably trying to build up some more Ghost turrets. You're just sending these poor scabs off to their own death constantly. Necron warriors, tanky beasts that they are, holding off against the Mandrakes and the Hellions as well. But one squad seems to have been wiped out. One dude attempted to get back on his feet there. In fact, two dudes, but all falling foul. Also got some flayed ones in here as well. So very, I mean, it's not every day that you see the Necrons play so aggressively, but I suppose you don't really want the Dark Eldar to get into that late game where they get their Witch squads and their Warp Beasts and such. Necrons don't really have a close combat unit or the maneuverability to really counter that kind of unit composition. Torch Slave manning his own business, farming some souls off in the distance. Haven't seen any soul abilities being used at the moment, but I assume that what Sikorsky is doing is saving up for the pool of corruption, or acid pool, or whatever you call that. Oh, poor lad. Gets up but falls down. Don't teleport those warriors back home. I wonder for why. Still in tier 1 as well. Very dangerous. Very dangerous indeed. But yeah, so saving up that souls ability. I mean, you've got 72 souls at the moment. So might potentially make use of the Soulstorm ability. I was going to say, are you going to finish that? Oh, there we go. Leave and get to the Mandrakes. Giving them the XP. Fair enough. And with a sizable amount of Reaver jet bikes, that will force Necrons to go into tier 2 and get their immortals out and about. Once got them all, should be able to deal with the Reaver jet bikes. Unless, of course, they've got the DPS required to burst down that immortal squad. Now going off into two different directions for reasons. Oh, to kill more Builder Scarabs. That's fair enough, that is understandable. If in range of the Ghost turret there. So, oh, I love that. Sikorsky, when one Reaver jetbike gets low on health, he then just pulls it back. So no need to sacrifice Reaver jetbikes. Although might potentially lose one here if he's not careful. There we go. Lovely, lovely little bit of micro from the Drukhari. Although loses one. Well, you know what? 3 out of 4 ain't bad. There we go. Turn your attention to the Necron Warriors. Get the squad wipe there. Because the Mandrakes and the first squad of Immortals are on the field. Be very careful with your jet bikes now. 9 times out of 10 you'll see the Dark Eldar play just kind of at some point in the game when they realise that they've now not got to that point where you can scale them any further. You just kind of throw them into combat, let them die, and then replace them with other vehicles. Why do that when you've got so much more time left? Necrons have only just got into tier 2. We're doing a very good job at keeping those Immortals alive and fighting them back for now, but the Drukhari, well and truly with the map control, have regained their listing post on the left-hand side. And might even potentially be able to take on this listing post on the right as well. Hellions on capping duty. But we do have... Oh, when did you get here? And how did you die? Oh, my name is Mr. Landshark. I've got poor map awareness. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm just one man. I'm an innocent man. That's all I am. Well, the warriors leading the charge. Maul's quite low on health for some of their models. But those Reaver Jetbikes do not want to mess around with them at all. Not until at least the Mandrakes can definitely tie them up. Which looks like they might be able to, actually. We'll run away. And then here come the Jetbikes. Also, the flayed ones coming on in. Jetbikes will focus down the Immortals as best they can. Bit of a targeted firepower there. That's the Immortals done. Now that leaves the Reaver Jetbikes to just open fire on all the heavy infantry. Flayed one slicing away at the Reaver Jetbike, but one volley of slices does not take it on. They'll scare away a bit, but that's fine. Dodge Slave comes over for some repairs. And the gradual damage over time from these poison blades ruining the prospects of the Necrons for a long and happy life. Flayed one's also been taken out. Yeah, I'm not sure why Blessed and Possessed is not teleporting his Necrons back home. Is it just because they're free and he's just spamming those out? Maybe. But a couple of shots from the Immortals and one Jetbike is down. Now we'll force the Immortals to run back home. There's some Wraiths going around somewhere. Ah, you're over down here. Necron Lord still just chilling. Vibing, as it were. One squad of Immortals taken care of, but another one quick to replace. Wraith looking for a flanking manoeuvre. That's one thing as well, the Necrons, if you're up against a faction that's got quite a lot of firepower, all well and good because the flayed ones come out and the Wraiths come out and you can tie them up and use your Necron warriors to kill them with some fire support, but Dark Eldar, they love a bit of close combat. So that tactic doesn't really do you any favours. Was once again dead. Necron warriors, not sure where you're going. So it needs to be kept alive, really, just to help them defend. At the moment, the Mandrake's focusing it down, so that gives Necrons a little bit of opportunity to shoot them up. Immortals also engaging close combat. To be fair, the Immortals do relatively well in close combat for a AV unit. But something goes down, and the Drukhari decides to fall back. Losing one squad there. Looking at the economies, 110 and 30. Compared to 75 and 80. So quite a strong economy for both factions here. Just a little bit of posturing at the moment. Dark Eldar, I assume you're now going to go at least into tier 3 or something. Leader health 1, there's the Archon. Powerful unit in this matchup. Even if the Necron Lord's not knocking around, being able to stun a couple of units just to allow these guys to potentially get some more stabs in there. Or at least holding off the Wraiths to give your range units some more space. Like I said, I don't think we'll see much in the way of range play from the Drukhari here. Reaver Jetbike moves on in. Stunning of the Necron warriors. And the more incubuses that he has, the longer the abilities go on for. Rift comes in for a decap. That was a very nice touch from Blessed and Possessed. You don't need to retreat, man. There we go. That's what you can do. You've come in, you've taken an objective, you fall back. The old hit and run tactics of the Necrons. We've got some witches out. I'm trying to keep my eye on the Necron Lord down here, just in case. Also got a rogue Reaver Jetbike on this side as well. Summoning Core being built up to tier 2.5. Some destroyers wouldn't go amiss in this engagement. And every single soul being harvested up. How much do you have at the moment? Is it 200 for a Soulstorm? It could be. Tower of Loving going to be rebuilt up. The Necrons are now massing quite a large number. Now, if the Dark Eldar engage, and they use their combat stimulants. They've basically like a 30-second window where they can absolutely annihilate the Necrons. But if the Necrons are able to maybe bait it out or somehow survive that initial push, their durability should make them come out on top in an engagement. I mean, it goes without saying that the Drukhari are very much glass cannony with all their units. They don't have much staying power. Because going to put some pressure. Will be stunned by the Archon, forcing themselves to also fight amongst themselves. Gives the Reaver jet bikes plenty of time to come in and blast them down. Hellions tying up the next squad of Necron warriors. Or was that... Oh no, there were mortals in there as well. Okay. So now that both mortal squads are down, yeah, just real position strike. Precision, if I keep my words out. They know what they want to kill and now to get it. They're using that global shrieking terror to break morale for the Necrons. Reducing their overall damage and also their ability to rebuild themselves. One squad managing to teleport away. Combat stimulants to keep on top of them. A squad wipe on those warriors. Now is the time to push in and do some damage. We've got 2 Spider for recycling. Which will massively increase, like I said, the durability of the Necrons. Mid-combat, just being able to throw out another squad of warriors here and there. Never a bad time. Well, if the precision strikes, if I can get my words out, of the Dark Eldar constantly killing the Immortals, then heavy destroyers would be the idea for Blessed and Possessed. Take on the Reaver jet bikes. Becomes a Wraith. And that, yeah, like I said, that cooldown on the Archon abilities will also really small as well. Enough damage to kill a couple of their own models. That's okay, you kill them inside the base and they'll just come back as fresh Necrons. They're going to fall back and the Drukhari now have to contend with having to kill the Tomb Spider before they're able to do anything else, but the Scared Squad more than capable of doing that. They jump in, Dark Lances blasting away at the Tomb Spider, then jump out. So unless the Necrons here keep their Wraith inside the base, just tie him up, keep him occupied. Don't rightly know what's going to go on. Bill Scov's attempting to repair the Wraith. This is heavy infantry, but it is repairable. But the Bill of Scabs killed first and foremost. Now another big push from the Necrons. A regular stun on the warriors. Allowing the witches to come in with their blazing whips. Tomb Spider moves on. Pool of acid. Oh, right. Oh, you're going to... Attack Scabs. Oh, no, that's sad. Attack Scabs and Soulstorm are aircraft. And they can only do melee damage. Which is just the worst. Only real use for them is to have as like a deep striking vision kind of thing. Well, like I said, the Necrons have managed to survive the initial push. And their survivability keeps them on the go. Being able to just build up more troops on the front lines with that Tomb Spider massively increased their durability. Of the Archons surrounded by glowing green men. And things are turning quite foul for the Drukhari now. But one single immortal slowly but surely working his way through that Tower of Loathing. Would have been mighty fine if there was some of those... that slave chamber, but with a... always the torture thing where it breaks people's morale when they get too close to it. I don't think I've ever seen that being used on the channel before, but that would have been the time to use it. Are you building up anything else? You're going for a mighty Talos, yes! Come on in, do the close combat damage. Archon is dead, but his Incubi will keep him... well, will keep his memory alive at the very least. And the warriors... marching unimpeded into the Dark Eldar base. Didn't quite have that punch necessary to kill all those warriors as quickly as they wanted. Reaver jetbike's now also going to go down as well. Here comes the Talos. Can the Talos save the day? The highest value Talos if you did. Stupidly good damage, it's just that it dies really quick. And I think maybe the Necrons have now actually bit off slightly more than they could chew. Without the Tomb Spider inside the base, picking up the dead as they die and basically repair them. Necrons fall down, but there's plenty more to come on in. Maul's also breaking down the slave chambers. But all those squads are taken down. Only for another batch of boys. See what they can do. Replacement witch squad, but might go down from the firepower from the Necrons. The Talos leading that charge. Curse of Maledictive or Crucible of Maledictive, whatever you call that ability. Confuses the Necrons, rewires the circuits practically to fight amongst their friends. Good lord, just need to take out those Reaver jet bikes. The amount of DPS coming from them at the moment is just substantial. A Greater Destroyer, that's what I would recommend, like I said. More survivability than your Immortals. Can also reposition itself. Oh, Tomb Spider taking a few licks of damage. Is clean this area of any Necron tier corpses. That's the problem, so all these guys dead. The Tomb Spider will now have to go inside here to recycle all these lads. So I don't know if it's viable. But there's more coming over. After the Necrons, after the Drukhari defend on the left hand side. So they're playing a game of survival at the moment. As the Necrons come in just waves upon waves. Good economy 77 and 18 compared to 72 and 100%. So Necrons definitely getting their big boy Wellingtons on, economy-wise. To put them back over to the obelisk, so wanting to stay in this fight at the moment. Keeping the pressure on. Fighting on the left-hand side again. Don't know if the Tomb Spider is going to do all that well unsupported. Love to make it slow lumbering way back home, but the Scourge is jumping on top of him. Big smack from the Tomb Spider. But the Talos will take care of him. A couple of jabs in the flank. Dear oh dear, he goes down. Well, he will go down at some point, I imagine. Necrons are doing a really good job at splitting the attention of the Dark Eldar. The Dark Eldar much prefer engaging in this big blob of just a huge wave of assaulting fury. So if you can split them up, it's always a good thing. And the Necrons that aren't, don't normally be the ones that are doing the splitting. So Blessed and Possessed doing a damn fine job. Brings them all down here. And now in the base, there's a couple of squads, but we'll be scared away. Where are you? Oh, you're teleporting down over here. So defending the obelisk. And it's all gone a bit pear-shaped for both sides, really. It was a powerful engagement early on in the game from the Dark Eldar. Necrons getting back on top of things. But managing to stabilise from both sides. This has truly been the most valuable Talos of all. Definitely the longest surviving one. Comes in for a couple of pincers. Reaver jet bikes blasting down the Builder Scarabs. I think it's probably the most Builder Scarabs we've ever seen die in a game as well. Maul's been tied up by the Hellions, and it seems to me now that the Dark Eldar have got the momentum back. There's not many warriors. Tomb Spider repaired, ready to recycle once again. I don't think, there's just not enough models for the Necrons at the moment. Combat stimulants to keep everyone entertained and in motion. Now at this stage, what would a Necron player do? I suppose not engage there, that would probably be the way forward. Hide behind your Gauss turrets and your obelisks. Got a replacement Tomb Spider. Would it be an idea just to have, when you had that lull, that all the Dark Eldar inside their own base, maybe trying to save up for a second Necron Monolith, just so you're able to spam out double Necron Warriors at the same time, so when they do inevitably come into your base, you're able to constantly bring out more and more Necron Warriors. Oh wait, it's looking less than ideal at the moment. Ghost turret goes down. And the Wraiths are what the Doctor has ordered, apparently. I don't know, I mean, yeah, sure, you can phase shift and stay alive a little bit, but one model very easily tied up by the Archon with his stuns. And we've got 2 Tomb Spiders. That's a fun phrase to say, 2 Tomb Spiders. Rolls off the tongue somewhat. But with the, actually, to be fair, with the Wraiths occupying the Scourge squads, no anti-vehicle going on at the moment. I mean, the Witches do a lot of damage in close combat when they've got their stimulants on the go, but bring some Build Scavengers over to repair them. Just get the lads off from the ground. Might be able to hold us off, actually. Gotta have faith. Scourge squad over here, now free and easy to fire away. Necrons amassing in number once again. There is a destroyer. Want to see a greater one, but that one will do just fine for now. Just any kind of big damage coming in is what you want. Comes over, sees if he can blast down the Scourges. Just managed to get down one model. Got to make sure though that Tomb Spider doesn't die. Any kind of models that he picks up from the ground, if the Tomb Spider dies, all those models are then lost. So that recycling potential going away, but does manage to birth a couple of Necron Warriors. Scourge is still alive there. Well, mind you, that destroyer could just engage those guys in close combat. It was really struggling against the anti-vehicle damage. That could have been a thing. Yeah, just all sorts of spiders. Whether they're Builder Scarabs or Tomb Spiders, everyone is just falling foul. And now he's going to have to start building up the ones that have already came out of the base. Oh, but that does mean, that gives him access to all this fresh stuff over here. Does he get it? It's a mighty fine thing, but oh dear. No, I suppose fair enough. It was a slow kind of loss there, but I mean, there was potential for maybe pulling it back. But to be fair, like I said, the Archon coming out, one thing I'm most surprised about in this game is that the Reaver jetpack survived for as long as they did. As mentioned before, these guys come in, they do some damage, thrown at the wall until they break, and then they are replaced by other vehicles and other stuff. But no, Sikorsky just making value out of these guys all the way through, even bringing Torch Slave to the front lines to keep these guys relatively healthy all the way through that engagement. But wonderful engagements from both sides. Necron's been aggressive from the get-go, keeping the Dark Eldar back for as long as possible, but Drukhari, like I said, hard matchup for the Necrons there, so well played to everyone in the game. So cheers, boys and girls, watching at home, and cheers to Play Support for supporting the channel. And if you want to support the channel at home, have a look at Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game week, and there's also Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. As been Mr. Landshark, pleasure's always never short, and I will see you in a bit. Peace.